Hey, Sasha.
Hi.
Okay, my ladies, we are live and direct, I would say. So you can share it with your friends. And I don't know, can you see it on my page?
Yes, we are sharing.
Okay. Just hi.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome, guys. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Just keep sharing, keep sharing. And today we're here talking about what happened yesterday in Kenya. And I'm happy because we also have a man here with us. So he's going to just talk. He's going to talk to us through the man's perspective. Okay.
Yes, we are sharing.
Okay. Yes. Hi. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for accepting this invitation. Very, very short notice, because we all know what happened yesterday. Something horrible, horrible happened in Kenya yesterday. And as women, and today we are actually celebrating Women International Day. So we wonder, especially after what happened yesterday in Kenya, how is celebrating Women's International Day? Are those women or that woman who this happened to? And I know it affected a lot of women when this happened to her, because almost every woman related to what happened to that woman, because a lot of women have gone through it. We also have somebody here who just told us they've gone through it before. So are those women really celebrating Women Independence, Women International Day? What does even Women International Day mean anyway to us as Kenyans? And we also have a man here, and I'm happy that a man joined us, because I also want a man to just tell us what goes through this useless, good for nothing men, some men who just do this to women. So I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry. So make sure I calm down. Because what I'm trying to say is, you men out there who are doing this, it's not all men, some men. If you're doing this to a woman, this woman carried you. If the woman decided to close her legs when she was having you, you could have died. She could have squashed that your silly, useless heads. You won't even have a head right now. You won't even be living, surviving. If the woman decided to abort you, you won't even be here. But this woman carried you for 9 months, gave birth to you, and then today you're here doing this to a woman. Come on, guys, this is not on. This is not on. So because I'm so angry, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to be the one talking, because I'm really angry. So I'll let someone else take over. So before we start, I'll just want us to introduce ourselves first. So my name is Lydia Tetolet. I'm a typical Kenyan and a very angry Kenyan right now. So I'll let the next person go. So Sheila, if you can introduce yourself.
Hello. Thank you, Lydia, for this opportunity. It is a very good discussion to have on International Women's Day. It's a conversation that we should have a long time ago. Long time ago. Prevention is better than cure. I am Sheila Chebet. I am a life coach, and I'm happy to be here today, hoping for a fruitful conversation that will change mindset. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'll go to Juliet as well. We have Juliet here with us.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for this beautiful program. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. My name is Juliet Makapila, popularly known as the African Wonder Woman. I love politics. I love and I wear many hats. I'm a community change maker, educator, coach, and I'm just absolutely delighted to be here. But more so because of today is a day that we have to speak about break the bias. And so thank you, Lydia, for doing this program.
Okay. Thank you very much, Juliet. And now can we go to Sasha, please?
Sorry, I was offline, so I lost everything. So it can just give me a little guidance, because I went offline.
No, it's fine. Right now we're just introducing ourselves.
Okay. Sawa sawa. My name is Sasha Seraphine Pote. I'm happy to see Jerry is with us here in Sheila. So I think it's going to be a powerhouse.
Yes, we have women of power right here today. We want to speak. We want our voices to be heard. And I have Helen. Helen is in Belgium. Helen, do you want to introduce yourself, or you just want to just watch and listen?
Hi, everyone. My name is Helen. I live in Belgium. Yeah, I'm working like a social worker here, the part of healthcare. I'm happy to meet you all.
Thank you so much, Helen. And then we go to Jerry, please, all the way from Kenya.
My name is Njeri. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Njeri Megwe. I am the executive director of Usikimia. Usikimia is an organization that seeks and aims to end the prevalence of sexual violence and domestic violence. So generally, we work around GBV. We provide shelter for women. We do programs around children that have been abused, as well as vulnerable children, as well as we do have a feeding program in Soweto, Kayole, in Nairobi. And yes, basically that's it. We rescue, we protect, we nourish, and we do work that is around women. And I'm glad to be here today. I know we are looking at very angry people, and I hope we have a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. And then now we have the only man in the house, Walter. Walter, are you there? Okay, Walter, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You may not, I'm aware that my connection is not very good, but I said I must join you on this rather annoying, disturbing, I don't know how to describe the behavior, uncouth behavior of people, unheard of. The list is endless. There's no excuse. They've done this many times, and it's down to leadership to get rid of this menace. The people can do their business, but no, let me stop. I was supposed to introduce myself. Walter Onunga. I'm here in the UK, and I don't know where to start because what I saw yesterday leaves a lot to be desired. Lydia, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so now we're going to start. And first of all, I just want to know, and I'll ask Jerry this because I know you are in Kenya right now. Are these people licensed? Bodaboda, are they licensed, or is just somebody who just decides, I've got a motorbike, let me just go on the road and start riding? Are they really licensed?
No. I was talking to police and Bodaboda guys, and most of them just go, they train, a friend helps them train, and then off they go. So not only are they not licensed, they're not insured. Some of them are the legitimate one, but most of them are not licensed, neither are they insured. It's a rogue industry, to be very honest, because there is no regulations, right? Anything that is not regulated is rogue, right? Because they operate outside of the government rules. So no, they're not licensed, and neither are they insured. That's why when they hit you, they run. When they drop you, they run. When you hit them, they mob you, because you know now, how else are they going to get their value, maybe for the life or for the motorbike they lost? So we are looking at people who operate from a place of and space of impunity.
Okay, so still on the basis of licensing. Sheila, I just want you to come in here. So the government actually have allowed, and I'm sure the government knows about this, they've allowed these guys to operate, and they are not, Sasha, please mute yourself. Thank you. So the government has allowed these people to operate without license and insurance. Sheila, just come in and just, thank you.
Okay, what I would say that first and foremost in Kenya, we are reactionary. We like to cure rather than to prevent. That's the first thing. I'm going to say several things that are going to form the basis of what I want to say. The second thing I would say, in Kenya, we also like to cure rather than prevent. So as I said, we react and then we cure rather than prevent. And then we also like to looking at short-term solutions as opposed to long-term solutions. And then when we're looking at long-term solutions, we apply them to short-term problems, and we apply short-term solutions to long-term problems. Causes chaos all over. So the issue of licensing, what I would say, this Bodaboda that did this to the lady yesterday did not do it because they were not licensed. They did it because they don't see value in women. They did it for many reasons. One of it is because they don't see value in women. And the question to ask is, why don't they see value in women? And we go back to the society, we go back to something called a value network. And herein lies the problem and the solution to the problem that we have of not seeing value in women, not seeing what value that women bring. Now, there is something called value network. Value network is the basis in which you make your decisions. So Kenya has a problem of value network, not only with bodabodas, but across the whole Kenyan system, starting from the president himself. And what do I mean by this? It means, what do you value? Like, do you value the wig of a natural hair? Do you value the long dress of a short dress? Do you value the rich over the poor? Do you value the educated over the uneducated? This is what we call the value network. And it cuts across all fields. So in this case, with this bodaboda, they just do not value women. And you ask, why don't they value women? What is the society what is the system that runs Kenya? We find it's the system whereby patriarchy, whereby the man dominates over women. So you find this bodaboda men, them treating this woman like this and treating many women like this, not only bodaboda men, many men, treating women as people to dominate is something that is our value network. So this issue of licensing, bringing and all these kind of things, you find somehow they are a short-term solution to a long-term problem. The problem here is the value network. So for us, we need to look at what do we value? Where is our value network? And I finish with this and say there are two things here. In Africa, long time ago, I'm a historian as well, long time ago, our value network was Ubuntu. And Ubuntu meant I am because you are. So whatever you have is ours. Whatever I have is yours. And then we interacted with other people. Things happened to us, colonialism, slavery, and then we adopted a value system that's called via victus, which basically means to the winner gets the spoils. Whoever wins, the winner takes it all. And you find when this lady yesterday was being attacked, they were taking everything off her because there was the issue of we are taking, it's ours. You know, with the via victus, the opposite of Ubuntu is like, what is mine is mine. What is yours is mine if I can take it. Now, if you look at this is how the bodabodas were operating. If you look at it, is this the ethos that only the bodabodas have? Or is this the ethos that is in the national psyche of Kenyans? Are the bodaboda the only people that attack women? Or do we find people attack women everywhere? Are the bodaboda the ones that have this mob psychology? Or you find other people have mob psychology as well? Are you seeing where I'm getting at?
Yes.
So rather than looking at the problem of the bodaboda alone in isolation, this is a problem of value networks. So the solution has to come with change in value networks. And instead of just looking at it as an isolated incident that bodabodas are not licensed and they're doing it, we have to look at it. We have to look at it. Why are we making it a women problem now? Because the other thing that you're having now is like women need to come together and do this. Why is it a women's problem? We come in a society whereby men and women live together and interact with each other. When did this become that if a woman is attacked, it's fellow women that have to come to her rescue? Where are the men?
Exactly.
You understand that? Again, we go back to the value network. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll bring Juliet because I can see Juliet wants to to jump in. Juliet.
Thank you so much, Lydia. First of all, happy International Women's Day once again. And then for the question that you're asking us, Lydia, let me start off by saying that Bodaboda actually registered people in Kenya who are licensed or meant to be licensed. But what we find, Lydia, is sometimes the rag Bodaboda comes in because of lack of unemployment or the rise of petty crimes and stuff like that. So we've got the safety, I believe it's the Bodaboda Safety Association of Kenya, or BAK, which is a national body of Bodaboda riders in Kenya, duly registered under the Kenya Societies Act. So I'm just quickly checking some of the facts. So, and I believe in each kiwanda or in each place, they are meant to be regulated. And just by quickly looking at the Bodaboda Safety Association of Kenya, it starts off by telling us we put the welfare of all members first and hire the best. I think it says from taking people to work, children, school, farms, produce, and stuff like that. But their core values areas are employment, transport, economic growth, and improvement of life. So let's first of all start off by acknowledging that Bodaboda is meant to be an initiative for young and the youth to actually improve their life skills and livelihoods. But we're talking about the incident about yesterday. So I just wanted to make a correction that they're licensed. So the licensing part is, which is very interesting, because I believe that this in some places in Kenya, Lydia, the licensing rules sometimes can lack, or they can go below standard. And I think that's what Sheila is talking about right now, based on the incidences that we see, Lydia. So the incident yesterday is absolutely one that, even as Walter has described it, is unacceptable. We will condone it, we will condemn it around the world. And also it brings the questions of how women also dress, because there's a link between that. And no man is allowed to think that they own a woman's body. And I strongly say that myself, because I believe in the issues of feminism, especially, and promoting gender and equality amongst women. So in terms of the transport sector, the question is the kind of licensing and training that they get, which I believe Jerry was talking about earlier on as well. So you find all these issues are questionable. And I know that the government has worked very hard, because you remember there is a period when the government said that nobody would ride on a bodaboda without wearing their helmet. So in that sense, the government is getting it right. But when you look at the incident yesterday, and while we're speaking right now, I can see there's some breaking news where the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, announced that there will be a crackdown on all the rag, there will be a crackdown on all the rag bodaboda, and that has been announced in Kenya today, as he spoke in one of the openings today in International Women's Day. So let's just congratulate our President Kenyatta for announcing that during Women's International Day. But the question is, are these men who do, the crowd, you can imagine that crowd that ran into a woman because of the incident that is happening, and then where are our police, what is the security of our women? So I pass it back to you, Lydia, but I think those are questions to really, really look into, because as you asked us a question earlier on, when people travel and they feel unsafe in their own streets in Kenya. Yeah, so the issue of security in Kenya, and especially within our youth, is very, very upsetting, to say the least.
Okay, thank you so much, Juliet. And I see people commenting on Facebook, but I just want to say thank you so much for every single person who has taken your time to come and listen to us today, to also come and contribute towards what happened yesterday. And your contribution it's valid. Your questions or your comments are valid as well, and we're going to read them out. But before I can read them out, I'll say, please keep on sharing, share and share until you can't share anymore. We have 76 shares right now, but please keep on sharing and let Kenyans come and contribute to what happened yesterday. Keep on sharing. So before I go, I'll go to Sasha. Sasha, please. And I know regards to what the president spoke about today, I know somebody have written something here, and also my side also to say about that is the fact that saying something is different, implementing it is different. We've had the president talk. He talks too many things, but are they really being implemented, everything they say? So I do respect and I love my president and everything, but what he says, do they really get implemented? Because I know he says it, but the people who are supposed to implement it, do they do it? I wonder. Anyway, I'll go to Sasha.
Hi, everybody, and happy Women's Day. And I'm very grateful to be on this platform. For me, I'm just wondering why we as Kenyans are pretending to be very shocked, because this is how women are treated every day in Kenya. This is how women are treated every day in Kenya, from the house to the highest office. 2017, the system was paying media houses to call me names because I took a picture with a prominent person. So I'm also surprised that the president acted, that's acting to me. That is acting, because the system, the way the system has been set in Kenya, it has been set in such a way that a woman is not valued in any way. If the system valued our women, when we did My Dress, My Choice, a woman had been raped in Githurai, and they did things that I can't even be able to mention here. And that's why we came up with My Dress, My Choice. So to see what those Bodaboda guys did yesterday, it shows that nothing changed. In Kenya, things are only happening on paper, but not in real life.
Exactly.
How many women go to the police every day to report that they are being battered by their husbands? One time I was in a police station, and a woman came to report. I had gone to report someone who wanted to assault me. And the woman came and she was swollen and all that. And then I remember, and I will never forget those words. The police asked her what tribe the husband was. And she said Kisii. And he started laughing, and his colleagues started laughing, and they were like, Kisii nasikia na dwanga zawazawa.
Can you imagine?
Yes. So why are we acting? Why are we acting? Why is President Uhuru acting? His system was paying the media houses to change my name in 2017. They still bring up those news. The man walks toll-free. The man walks toll-free. There is nothing wrong that I did. It was just an image which was used against me so that elections can be rigged. So if we are amending Kenya, we are not gonna stop. We are not gonna start there with the Bodaboda guys. We are gonna start with the parliament. How do they even address women in parliament? Have you seen how abusive sometimes they use abusive words that you can no longer watch Kenyan news with a child?
Yeah, I remember when a woman was slapped.
Are we ready to fix the system? Are we ready to fix the system? Are we ready to start? Yes, exactly. And then the other time, what did they do? Then we come here and we pretend that we are so surprised. We pretend that, we care about depression. Did you see what they did to Shebesh? Did you see the pictures they were sharing? Not even caring that she's somebody's mother. Her children are all grown up. Not caring that she has a marriage that could be at stake. And the same man that they were changing her name with, another one walked toll-free. Just like in my case, let's stop pretending as a country. From the highest to the grassroots.
Sasha, so it's always a woman's fault. It's always women. A woman, because a woman gets raped, it's her fault because of the way she was dressed. She gets raped, it's her fault because of the way she was talking to the man. The men walk scot-free. And that's why I understand what Judith said, that the president gave news. The president spoke. Yes, the president might have good intention to say whatever he's saying, but all those things are fake. Nothing happens. And that's why I brought Njeri today, because Njeri lives it. She lives it, she eats it, she sees it every blessed day. If the president was so remorseful, or the government was so remorseful, or all those MPs or women rep or whatever they're called, I don't even know what their role is. One thing I know is their role is to take money. That is number one, I know. Number two, I don't even know what they do. This will not be happening. One day we had a show here in Njeri. We had a show here with one MP who said, I'm going to give money. I like what you're doing. The man ended up giving Jerry only 70 pounds that even my daughter, my last born daughter, could have given it to Jerry without even blinking. And then you're talking about government, the president said, the president, those, just like Sasha said, they are lies upon lies. Anyway, let me go to Walter first before I go to Jerry. Let me go to Walter because he's a man. Oh, he has done a runner. Oh, he's still here.
No, I won't run. It takes a lot to make me run. No, it's quite interesting, the two facts. When you look at, there's a lot of biasness towards women. And I look at it twofold. One is generally, what do I say, across the world, as we are celebrating International Women's Day. Across the world, if you look at, go anywhere. If you start within Africa, go across the border, go anywhere, not even within Kenya. Women are not given any space and they're always at fault. There's nothing you do that is right. It's always wrong, even though it's right, but it's wrong. Now, there are many countries who come up policies and that favor women. Let's talk of the UK. There are policies which favor women. But when you go down to the nitty gritty, things turn around at some point along the line and come back to favor men. If you look at just the political side of it, women don't have much representation, even though they're trying, but it's not represented equally and fairly. Now, if you come back to the issue that we're talking about of the Bodaboda issue in Kenya that has brought rise to this, I'll say, like somebody once said, that Kenyans have amnesia. We tend to forget, right? If you look across there, you have Sasha, you have Njeri there. I have my own family members who are female who have been abused in a foreign land. And then I have my own friends as well who have been harassed with the Bodaboda. Simply the Bodaboda comes in, you knock them down or you come in your way. My friend had to drive into a police station for his life to be saved. Because they're coming out, they're coming for you. When I saw the image yesterday, I was quite disturbed and I was wondering what's going on here. All it's realized later on is like they're just thugs. I'm sure if you go down on policy and in papers in the Ministry of Transport in Kenya, you'll find that these borders are regulated on paper. But the implementation does not exist. There's no proper implementation and crackdown. Yes, it's only this that is highlighting this Bodaboda issue now, but this is not the first time it is happening. It happened when they banned somebody's car. They banned a truck not long ago. That's why I said, do we have amnesia? Are we forgetting? Or is it just because something has been highlighted in social media and people are talking about it? What happened when they created the Hustler Nation? That is what is giving rise to all this, where you have the haves and the have-nots. Why are they not bringing that in? They're only talking about what happened to the lady. Yes, it's sad, but this is something that has been going on, not today, not yesterday. If you go back in history, go back 3 years ago, it has been happening. And it's getting euphoria. And the politicians are not condemning it. Did they condemn when they banned the cars? When they're banning somebody who has been working so hard, they banned somebody's lorry. That is somebody's livelihood, a whole family gone. To make 1 million Kenya shillings to pay for that, and you're going to ban it. There's no proper enforcement, execution, and implementation of the laws. Bodaboda, yes, they can go ahead and do their job, but they can be regulated. I know they have them in Uganda, but I don't think they're as rude as this. I may be wrong, I stand to be corrected. And I know they have similar things. Let's talk of something like the Uber and the Deliveroo. These people do a similar thing, delivering things, only called an Uber kind of transport system. They are regulated and they ride the motorbikes, but they're not careless. And they're regulated and watched and they are accountable. Yeah. Who are these people accountable to? I'll leave it at that for now, Lydia.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'll just read just a few comments and then we'll go on. Someone say motorcyclists, commonly known as Bodaboda in Kenya, have given Kenyan authorities and citizens nightmares. From riding against traffic and on pavements to jumping traffic lights to creating their own parking stages, the sector is now unmanageable. They have created their own rules as the social order doesn't apply to them. This has to stop. No one is superior above another human. More volume needed. We women strongly condemn the horrific assault of the young woman involved in an accident on Forest Road. Bodaboda are a mob justice mafia and take laws into their own hands. Laws to protect drivers need to be introduced. Corruption is in control. No laws are followed as long as you have money. Definitely agree with that. So many women suffer in silence after sexual violence at times even from their husbands. So laws to protect women from sexual violence in Kenya does not exist. And that's really, really sad. I think the Bodaboda guys that traumatized the girl should be shown on video. Ask them to bring their sisters. We do a fake demonstration act and see if they can stand seeing their sisters in that circumstances, hooligans. Okay, so these are just some of the comments. I'll read some later again. And thank you very much, everybody who has taken your time. Please keep on sharing and bring your comments as well. And keep sharing and bring your comments. Thank you very much. So I'll go to Jerry, please.
Sorry, back in the meeting. Hi, please. Sorry, Lydia, I didn't hear the question. Come again.
Yeah, especially Jerry, I want you to talk about what Juliet mentioned, because I know it's something that we actually mentioned before in regards to the announcement today from the president to crack down the Bodaboda guys. Because for me, that is a short-term solution, like Sheila rightfully said, that they're going to crack down now. And then what happens? Do we crack them all down? What is there?
First, let me put it into perspective. On what a crackdown is not enough, because what are you cracking down on? And when, as I said earlier, when you say you're going to crack down, you're pulling off these people from the work that they do. And me saying this is a big deal because you know my work is around GBV, and you know that was a proper GBV incident. It was harrowing. I think the scream of that girl are going to last in my head forever and ever. And I think I fought on Twitter the whole day yesterday. I was on Twitter Spaces and I was very, very angry. But furthermore, there's somebody who spoke here and they said about the fact that these people should realize that, you know, they could be their mothers, their sisters, Can we first of all cancel that whole story of saying that women need to be somebody's sister, relative, friend, wife, for them to be recognized for their humanity? Women are complete human beings. We are not less. We do not need to be attached for us to be recognized as full human beings. So can we stop eliciting for sympathy by saying that women need to be somebody's, can we make them feel like, what about their mothers? No, we are full human beings with a full human rights, with our dignity intact, and that should be recognized. So I need that to be there, and I need that to be amplified. And the reason that we are treated as subhuman is because no one recognizes our humanity. Women are always like women, children, and youth. And you know, like we are not, this is blueberry, I said strawberry. I said strawberry. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay,
so
sorry,
now,
she's in a restaurant as well.
Yeah, and I have to go on news at 9. So this is the thing. Can we first of all recognize our humanity? And secondly, now that I was there when I was in the meeting where the president decided to say that all borders should be cracked down. And I asked myself, if they crack down on these borders, where do they expect these border people are going to go? Like, where are they going to go? Wataenda wapi? Watakuja sasa, they will start now doing, they will now become proper thieves. Wachana na hapo walifanya. So what I'm saying is, as a country, are we saying we cannot legislate border borders? Are we saying that there is no way we can do better? Like, are we saying that they are so rogue that there has to be a crackdown? These people cannot be legislated. They cannot be put into circles. They cannot be, there's no demand on them. for them to act up. They can't be licensed, they can't be insured. What are we saying as a country? That there's a whole rogue industry going on and nobody can take care of it? Are we saying that our safety as women, because first of all, let us start with the fact that, and I say this all the time, and Lydia, you correct me if I'm wrong, I've told you enough time, and I will say it here without an ounce of anything. We do not love women in Kenya. I can tell you, just go scroll to, enda to Twitter yangu, one what I wrote, and I said, how these men treated that women is how Kenyans treat women. Yes. And the way men came for me, and the way I have been insulted, including my mother, my father, my grandfather, everybody in my lineage has been insulted. Simply because I said, we do not treat women right. We invalidate women in this country. And that is a feeling. We always feel like, if I say something about women, it's like I'm denouncing men. And you will always see that people will say, what about men? There's so much whataboutism that is brought around. So it also asks you, why do men always feel like they have to come into a space where women are being spoken to, issues of women are being addressed, and they fix themselves and they make themselves look like a victim?
Yeah, because it's not about them. It's not about them right now.
I am so frustrated. I'm saying this was a gendered incident. There is no way you can exclude. I have seen people, men being beaten because they have hit a bodaboda driver. However, I have never seen anyone being stripped naked, being groped, being fingered, being sexually assaulted in broad daylight. If that girl did not have that seatbelt, 100% she would have been raped, and then they would have beaten her and they would have killed her. Make no mistake. Before they come and ban your car, if you're a woman, 100% you will be sexually assaulted first. You will be raped, and then you will be beaten, and then you will be killed. So that is what we are trying to explain. That is why we are saying, look at this from the perspective of women. You cannot say this is not a crime against women. This is a crime against women. It was done differently from how they do when they do it to men. We're not saying that what happens to men is right. What we are saying is, can we start looking at women as full human experience and stop treating them like they're second-hand citizens and not deserving of the dignity of living a full human experience? I don't know what has made me angry is the video now, or how people are coming up on comments and how they're talking, or how many men have actually said on social media that she deserved it.
Can you imagine?
Those comments are there. I think I have like unfriended like 50 people or something. Every time I see a comment and I check you're my friend, I block you, because what kind of human beings are this? And that's why I'm saying we cannot be always telling people, treat us right because we are women, we are your sisters, we are your mothers. No, but what if they don't treat their mothers and sisters right? What makes you think they're going to treat a stranger right? So stop asking them. Just ask to treat us women as people who are deserving of our whole human dignity and experience. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I totally agree with you on that one, because we have some useless, good-for-nothing men who rape their children. So if they rape their girls, and then you tell them that, why are you treating me like this? I'm like your daughter. They'll be happy because, yeah, I raped my daughter, I can rape my mom. So definitely.
Today when I was in the IWD meeting, I got a call to rescue 2 girls. Now, these girls have been being raped by their adoptive father because he went and adopted these kids. And the case that is emerging is so bad. So I sent somebody from our office to go do the rescue because I was in the meeting. Do you know, we found them making them clean the sewage. They were cleaning the sewage when they got there with the police. So my question goes, these are the same people you want to appeal to. These are the same people you want to appeal to. Every day I'm rescuing girls, I'm rescuing boys, because now it cuts across, all genders, and they're being raped by relatives, they're being raped by people. These are the same people you want to tell them, respect me because I'm your sister, I'm your mother, the things I have seen in the last 2 years, Lydia.
So there's no respect. Those people cannot respect anybody.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Jerry. I'll come back to Sheila. Oof.
Okay. So many things to say. What I would say, as I said, this is a long-term problem. This is a problem that has been brewing for years and years. And sometimes this is the beauty of needing to know your history, of going back to history. Because before you know where the rain started to beat you, you'll be looking at symptoms of a problem and you think the symptom is the problem. So you end up focusing on the symptoms and treating the symptoms while the real problem keeps manifesting itself and growing bigger and bigger and showing other ways in which it shows out, and you're treating them as different things, but they are all products of the same thing. Now, Jerry has mentioned about the reaction on Twitter and the reaction on Facebook and the reaction on social media. And this is true in that when you go, you would find men and women justifying this. So you'll find they're actually men and women wanting to justify what those bodabodas did. And you'll find in other circumstances whereby they are making that poor lady to be the one at fault, while the bodabodas to be the ones who are the victims. And you find that this is a common narrative in Kenyan situations whereby there's something that's happened against the woman. The woman's character comes in, and this woman, she had left, I don't know how many boyfriends, and she was educated by who and ate the school fees and even ate the fare of who and who. Basically, people coming up with all these narratives to justify the violence and the assault, the sexual assault against women. And it comes down to that value connection I was talking about. What are the bases in which people use to make their decisions? And you find that in Kenya and in many, many, many African countries, and certainly many parts of the world, we don't like women. It's what we call misogyny. So you find that women are seen as lesser citizens. They are seen as children of a lesser god. They are seen as people to be dominated by men. So when men do these things against women, it's seen as they're just exercising their right, isn't it? They have been given that dominion over women. And we know very well the things that give men dominion over women, we start with religion, whereby you're told that you have dominion over women. So you find that this people, these men that attack women, feel somehow they're exercising their God-given right. And as now what we are busy doing, we are busy trying to sort out the symptom of how this dominion has taken effect, instead of going to the real core, which is this thing in their head, this software in their head that says a woman is a property of a man. A man can make do with her however he wishes because he's a man and she's a woman. So all these are just symptoms of a bigger problem. So rather than us running around looking at the symptoms, we need to go to the bigger problem. And that is, where did this dominion, where did this thing that men feel they own women, or they dominate women, or they can do anything to women come from? That is the problem. Now you find men are not born this way. They're not born this way. They are taught this way. Someone teaches them this. Someone normalizes to them this. Someone teaches them that this is how men treat women. They are taught this. They're not born this way. They are taught it. So once we know that this is something that is learned, we can start salvaging the situation and make sure that the next lot of young men don't have this software in their head where they think they can walk roughshod of a woman because they happen to be men and they're women. And this is a conversation that we also have with women, because the way society is men and women interweave each other. They're together. Like for that child to be born, for that boy to be born, there has to be a man in the picture, isn't it? For him to conceive, for him and the woman to do their thing, for the baby to be born. Yeah. So you find in our cultures, in our environment, we always have men and women, and each, if they pull their weight and did their thing, would have harmony. But in this case, whereby we are having one gender oppressing the other one, you find there has to be kind of an imbalance that's happened somewhere. And you find that both of them have bought into the imbalance. So you'll find that even when Jerry talks of our comments, I am sure even in Jerry's comments, you would find women justifying the plight of their fellow women. You find this all the time. Like when the femicide, during the time we were going through the spate of femicides, whereby women were being killed by men, the men came to justify the killing of the women, but the women also came to justify the killing of the women. So meaning that we have all bought into this system of the men having dominion over women, and this dominion taking the form of violence, we okay it. So meaning somewhere along the line, we have both imbibed some software that is not working in our favor here being us as humanity. And you'll find like the work that Njeri does, you'll find she gets a lot of stick. She gets a lot of beatings, emotional and mental beatings, because of the work she does, because what she's trying to do, she's trying to give that marginalized woman a voice. She is trying to speak for the plight of women. But you'll find that she gets hit with a stick over and over again. And this stick is not only coming from the men, this stick is also coming from the women. This stick is coming from the nation as a whole. So meaning we are all in it, in the oppression of women. And then we wait for something like this to happen and we come and you're all angry and this because it's trending, it's news for us. And it's kind of like voyeurism. We've just come to have some let out, some vent, some things, but in our hearts it's all talk. Because tomorrow we go back to our lives and wait for the next one that will hit the social media streets. Because that one incident has hit the social media street, how many others haven't come? And this is whereby we have people like Jerry who speak for the others that don't hit social media. But look at how much grief we give her. Look at how much grief we give people who try to speak for women. And sometimes when we have men that join in this law to speak for women, look how much grief those men get given for joining the women. Are you seeing how the problem is bigger than a Bodaboda doing this to women? This is just a highlight of a problem of the psyche that we have, and it goes back to the value connection. So what is the remedy to this? The remedy is to teach people, men and women, to value people, men and women. It's not a matter of secluding one, but in this case, the people that aren't valued are women. So in this case, we need to teach men and women to value women, because it's the women that are not valued. So you'll find men come and say this, what about them? At the moment right now, if you look at the statistics, it's the women that are at the receiving end of violence. And it is the men that are meting out this violence against women. So if we're looking at things like this, we're looking at numbers like this, how can we now say, what about men? When we are talking about women being attacked by men. Like we come to this issue, if we narrow down to this issue, it is this particular woman being attacked by this many men, yeah? But then you'll find people trying to bring in other women in it as if they were attacking this woman. If we just zero in on this case, we'll find it's men attacking one defenseless woman, yeah? And why are they attacking her? They are attacking her because she knocked, they say that she had knocked, I didn't watch the video, I just had the screams that was enough. I get distressed easily. So that she had knocked one of them. And this now brings the other issue, the poverty issue. Now I'm narrowing on this one. I'm now stepping away from the bigger patriarchal issue, the misogyny issue, that is the discrimination against women. And I'm now adding another layer to it, and that is the layer of poverty, because poverty has to be addressed. Now, this woman was in a car driving. The Bodaboda men were in their Bodabodas. A lot of these Bodaboda men, they did not choose to be Bodaboda people because they wanted to be Bodaboda. It's an issue of poverty. Poverty and unemployment and needing to put food on their table placed them there. So now they are doing this work with all this resentment and all this aggravation of having to do this because they've been pushed here by poverty. Now, one thing, there is no virtue in poverty. Poverty is something that changes the person that you are. Poverty makes you become like someone else because poverty is unnatural. Poverty is something that is not godly. It is something that should not be there. But you find people sit and come up with poverty. Poverty is man-made. There are people sitting in offices and coming up in a way in which they can impoverish people because it's easier to control a poor people than a people that are wealthy. So you find these people are on the receiving end of this poverty. So they are these poor people. They feel they don't have. And then this lady comes with a car. Already these are aggrieved that they don't have. They have that feeling, we do not have. Then you come in here with a car and they feel that you have. Obviously there's aggravation there. There is antagonism there. So when this altercation happens, they are ready to attack. On the back of this attack is the poverty. But on top of this poverty, there is that fabric of patriarchy, that misogyny, that hatred of women. So you are attacking here, you are adding that layer of her being a woman. So are you seeing the very many interconnections of many things coming here? And these are the solutions we look at. When we're looking at solutions, we don't just sit there and say, oh, we're going to, crack down and whatever. The issue is nothing to do with crackdown. The issue, we now have to look at the layer of poverty. We have to look at that social fabric whereby patriarchy is sitting at the realm. We also have to look at this issue of the justice system, because as we speak right now, like we're talking like this, like even if we say, yes, they've arrested those men now, the men that did this we've arrested, would we say that justice will be served? Are we sure that they will serve time for having them done, or they will a few years down the line, or even a few months, or even a few days or hours down the line, they'll be free to go because, you know, some harm would have been greased somewhere, or the evidence would have run cold and everything. So there is that issue there as well. So basically, when we have an issue like this coming up, we should not be so simplistic in looking at it. We have to go deeper and look at the real core, at the heart of this, because this is not an isolated incident. And this is not an incident that just shows itself by bodabodas. You crack down on bodabodas, then you're going to crack down in homes where parents are being violent to their women and their children. What about schools, whereby a lot of this violence men are made? What about the society in general, where a lot of this violence are made? And as Sasha said, the parliament itself as well. What about there, where a lot of this sexual violence and sexual assaults and all these things are done? So this is an issue that has to be dealt with. It has to be multi-pronged. It has to be dealt with by so many people who are invested in finding the solution and who are ready to know that the problem is much deeper than the symptom in which it's showing itself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And exactly so what you said, what you rightfully said, Sheila, when it comes to men, things like FGM favors men. Things like you see a mother and women as well, just like you said, a woman will take their daughter for FGM. A woman will tell the daughter, no, you have to do it because this is our culture, because the man said. So everything they do, so many things that they do, things that favors men. A woman who stand and tell, I was in a house one day with girls and boys, and the girl finished eating and she told the brother, oh, and that was she is of you to go and clean the things. And the mom said, hey, you cannot send the boy. This is your job as a girl. You're the one who is washing dishes. And the boys just eat and leave their dishes. And the girls take their dishes and go and wash in the kitchen. And I was thinking, what kind of world is this? You're a woman. You should know this is wrong. Because we've been conditioned to think a woman is in the kitchen, a woman is in the bedroom, a woman is to be treated because of the value. Again, we come back to the value. So everything is about the value. So it is really, really, I don't know what to say. You see a woman, and Jerry has this, a child has been molested, and women are still saying that it was that girl's fault because of what they were. Women. And most of the time you see when women are attacking, when a woman is being attacked, probably 60% of people attacking that woman are women. And I don't understand why. Anyway, let me bring Juliet now. Juliet next. But before Juliet comes, I just want to say thank you so much, everybody who is watching. Somebody said, Danny, just to read a few comments. Danny said, no. I think Danny was responding to something that somebody said in regards to bring your sister for us to pretend that we're doing the same to your sister. And Danny said, no, I disagree with your caller. Don't bring their sisters to face the same assault, mock or not. The men need to face consequences for their actions. It's not for their sisters to face consequences. We won't stand for a woman. We can't stand up for women and in the same breath use women as tools to be punished for a man's wrongdoing. And that's a man who actually said that. So thank you so much, Danny, for that comment. And then somebody said, is there rules and laws that regulate bodaboda? Bodaboda guys, if there isn't, they need to be. Someone said every bodaboda ride must be a SACCO member or in a certain SACCO. Corruption, all is corruption. And someone said, yes, I agree, we need a solution. So I'll come back and read some more. But thank you so much, everybody. Please keep sharing and keep your comments coming as well. They're very important, and keep sharing. We totally appreciate you. So I'll go to Juliet.
Thank you, Lydia. And just listening to what is being said, and most of what is being discussed is about gender-based violence. And I don't know if you remember in 2017, I raised this issue around 2017, whereby some of the cases that are being discussed started and were being highlighted in Kenya. And I remember this lady, and especially one of the ladies when I raised this, and I believe also I'd spoken in one of the programs, I think it was Talk Africa, about issues to do with domestic violence. And started off with the program as well. But one of the ladies, let me tell you a story. One of the ladies really touched me, and she reached out. I don't know this lady, Lydia from nowhere, but she reached out to me, and her name is, and I'm going to mention her because she works with children. Her name is Mary Makoha in a Western. And she reached out to me to tell me that she works with thousands of children, and she also works with thousands of victims. And her story, I've just looked for it while we were actually talking about this. And she said to me she needs support and people to help in terms of the work that she was doing. So me being Juliet as usual, I wanted to know what exactly was the support mechanism that she needed. And I reached back to her only to find out the real issues in Kenya, which were really gender-based violence. And I remember writing something which I wrote in many of the groups at the time. And this is what I wrote, Lydia, just to remind or recap people. Because we need solutions. If people are working with gender-based violence for women, we need to support those people on the ground as diasporan. And this is what I wrote because I had to really dig down and find that post. Good afternoon, everyone. There is something that really needs to be done on issues of young girls being raped around Busia in Kenya. Help is really needed. I have been contacted a few times from around this area. Raising awareness, #StopRape, currently supply of about estimated £1,000 would support us raise more awareness and go a mileage. I have asked one lady to do a budget outline, which is that lady that I'm talking about. And she has come out with a call of around, at the time, it's 2017, 13,600 girls. Issues of reporting are not working very well at police level and magistrates, and we are facing challenges. Matters of interventions are needed urgently, and protecting girls and even mothers in some cases are needed. Please, if anyone, if you are interested, we need to provide a program. I'm thinking it through, and everyone's help is needed. I'd like a call back and a conference call here in UK using this platform so we can meet and discuss about this. Please support this. Asanteni, Juliet. I wrote that message on 13th of January 2017. That is what I wrote. I posted that message because when that lady reached out to me, she told me she had 13,600 girls in her care. That is a large number, Lydia. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and thanks, Sheila, for breaking some stuff down. But let me break a bit more. So you've got somebody, and I specifically asked that lady what she was doing about those cases, the scenario at the time. And, you know, it breaks my heart as I speak. Today is Women's International Day. Let's break the bias here, and let's remember every victim. But one of the comments in our conversation was the police were to arrest. There had been also an incident around that time, by the way. So the police were to arrest 2 men that morning, and they are yet to be found. And when this, so she was now trying to explain to me the different cases that were pending and all kind of stuff, Lydia. So you can imagine, in one case, she said to me, one of the ladies, the husband has dumped her because she has been raped. So you've got that scenario as well. Then in one of them, when I asked her which particular area, she specified in Busia, in Bumala or Bumula, in Siaya County. And in fact, I'll mention them, Butula, Nambale, Matayo, and Samia for Busia and in Siaya. I will target Ugenya East, North, and Ukwala, because I asked her, if you were to be given this amount of money, which areas would you be paying attention? I had never met this woman, Lydia, but I took her word for it. And just because I feel that this is really an issue that is gender-based violence, and it's also an issue of safeguarding children as well, Lydia, as you can imagine. And we are all responsible for safeguarding children and especially we here in UK, if you see any issues, whether here or back home, we're meant to be safeguarding children. And that is what struck me in that particular case. And on writing that, because I just quickly went down to my notes to just check that file, I remember that I was disappointed with us over here in UK because we couldn't even raise that money. In fact, I never even got a call back. I think I got a call back from Ghanaians actually, and Nigerians, not in particular Kenyans. So I felt disappointed as a person in the efforts that we were trying to make. So let me start off, let me say that as well in this program. But I remember trying to think what more could be done in terms of responding to the need of this. And one of the things, let me also praise one of the officers, Inspector OCPD, Albert Kipchumba, because, and you're always seeing him on the air, he likes social media. And in fact, I went to look for him when I was in Kenya. I told him, oh, Inspector, Niko hapa. Because at the time he was around Western. And I remember thinking, how could we empower the police so that the police could also protect women and also protect these young children? Remember, we have failed to raise that amount of money that is required to do community awareness. And that is money that is also required to help. If a child is, say, for example, sodomized, for example, that child is needed to be taken for forensic. It's supposed to be taken maybe out, the child must leave from the home care and stuff like that. And all the things that comes with social services. And in fact, one of the programs that I pushed for was gender-based social worker in every police station. And if you go now in many police stations, you find that you've got that at least services that came as a result of this, presenting the case of actually, this is the amount, the data that has been collected by this particular lady. So this particular lady is doing this. She's not financed, she's not got resources, but she's reached out. So I despair. And I think that the cases that we are hearing, because even if you see Bodaboda, the rise of gender-based violence, even for mothers or even for widows back home, you hear the cases. And one of the saddest thing is the quote that she put down to me. And she said to me, this was her exact words, in Western and Nyanza, it's about changing the mindset of men and women, which is excellent. But this is the sad bit, because women are socialized to believe that a man has every right to batter a woman. They call it disciplining. You can imagine that kind of situation. So whether you are married or whether you are just dating or whether you're just going out with, living together because it's expensive, a woman is supposed to subdue because you cannot exchange words with a man, or you cannot, you're meant to be silenced, basically. And that is why I also refuse to be silenced, because I cannot stand that a woman can be silenced. And any man, and this is why you see even here, even in UK, let's face it, here in the Europe places, there's high cases, divorce rates are high. Let's be, let's start breaking it down. The divorce rates right now, single women, why? Abusive marriages and stuff like that. Yeah. So it is important that we understand the issues of domestic violence, but more so the issue of, let's go back to what Sheila was also saying in Bodaboda here. The issue of Bodaboda, the woman is driving, she's committed a crime and police are supposed to come. But instead, what she gets is what Sasha was describing earlier on. And you can imagine the shock, the emotional strain. We're even told about how the woman could not even go back and report because she was emotionally traumatized. These things, they last for years. And the worst bit is, I quote from the same lady. She tells me, that is 2017, by the way, come 2018 to come 2019. So the conversations are still going on, but you're trying to help where you can. So she goes, the problem in Kenya is you go to the police station and you're told to even bring the people who raped you. I beg your pardon? You can imagine. I beg your pardon. So I quote, and these are women who are traumatized. These are women who are, even for children, nani amekuona? Enda ulete huyo, unamwambia. You can imagine. On top of all that, if you're not blessed enough for the community to actually make intervention and catch you and take you to the hospital so that the necessary checking is done on your child or a child who's been sodomized, for example, then the evidence can be missed out. So let's create awareness here as well. It is important that this kind of behaviors, and that is why my heart breaks when we have certain people doing such beautiful work and they are asking us very little money like that, and we couldn't. That was supposed, I've quoted for you, Lydia, how many woods she was supposed to target, right? And that is just a message. So like Sheila says, this is a responsibility for all. We cannot just ignore it. We cannot just ignore something that you see, and you see community leaders doing something and you ignore something that you think that is meant, you know, the action side. I want to go along with thanking, I mean, despite the fact that implementation can be a sad process, but I don't believe that Bodaboda people, I believe there's rag drivers and these rough, you know, these rag traders in every industry. And so let's talk about those particular rag traders who then mobilize themselves and they're badly behaved and stuff like that. And I think that is the point. I don't think that anybody is saying that the jobs, you know, we should, the president is saying that we should remove all Bodabodas. But I think what he's saying, he will crack down on the rag Bodabodas. And that is necessary because women need to feel safe in a car, in Uber, in any transport system that is available. The other thing is to address the police. I was giving you the story of Albert. The reason why my communication and Albert actually started was because I reached out to him. I said to him, oh, you're based in Western. Is there a chance that you can go and see this lady and just see what is going on? And I knew in my heart, and I believed in my heart, that if I was to educate or to have a conversation with this one police officer and then empower this one police officer or invest in him in any area, we could probably be saving these 13,600 persons that was being brought into my attention at that particular time. Let me tell you what happened.
Thank you, Juliet.
Okay.
Thank you. I can see Sasha. Sasha wants to say something, but before Sasha says that, I just want to ask.
But the success. Let me just finish that. Let me just finish that, Lydia, because it's important to understand one of the solutions, and that there is a solution right there. So this officer went and cracked down any man that was being found with this. Can I just, you know, say that was evident that it can be done. As we speak right now, the reduction of that area, because that one officer took action. So that is why I said it is important that we talk about solutions as well. Back to you, Lydia.
Okay, thank you so much, Juliet. And just coming back to women, I know you say that the crackdown is very important on this rogue Bodaboda drivers because women need to feel safe. But women don't feel safe anywhere. It's not just about with the Bodaboda, and that's why a lot of women are angry, and that's what Sasha was saying, and Jerry's saying, Sheila is saying. It's not about what the Bodaboda people did yesterday. It's about what has been happening to women since. We have Sheila who said she had a skirt one day and her skirt was taken out. It wasn't taken out by the Bodaboda people. It was taken out by useless men who thought our skirt was short. They had nothing to do with the Bodaboda. So it's not even about this Bodaboda. Yes, it's today is what happened to the women that now the president says something and everybody says something. And like somebody said, rightfully said, we are talking now because maybe we are hyped. Tomorrow we're going to forget. That woman will never forget what happened to her. She'll live with that memory. But we are going to talk and forget and move on. What about her? What about the woman that happened to yesterday and tomorrow and the more years to come? And what happened to the women that has happened to before? So it's not just about the Bodaboda. This is big. And it needs to be, something needs to be done, not just on paper, but on reality. And I remember when we're talking about women again, me and Sheila, and I don't know if Sasha was in that group or Sasha knows about that, but me and Sheila, we were in one group that a child was actually molested, and a 15-year-old was molested. And we had women who are actually supporting the man who did that and even covered for the man. So, and these were women who are even saying, yeah, but there is no but. A child has been molested. They shouldn't be a but. So that is the problem. That is the issue. And if the value, again, like Sheila said, if we go back to the value of valuing the men and valuing the women as well, then probably a lot of these things will not happen. But anyway, let me pass it over to Sasha, because I can see she's just twitching on a chair.
Yes, so Lydia, I think, like I said, we love to act like we are talented. Juliet, I like everything that you spoke about. I like for what the people that you are helping in Bungoma. Is it
Basia? Basia and Siaya.
Yeah, I think we've lost Sasha. I think she's frozen. Yeah, she's frozen. So while we wait for Sasha to come back, I don't know if Helen wanted to say something, or Helen, did you want to say something? Helen is still here because I saw her unmute herself. So I don't know if she wants to say something. Helen, do you want to say something? If she's still there.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, she's back.
Oh, Sasha is back.
Hello?
Okay, Sasha, and Jerry has to go because she has a program. So Jerry, just give us your last remarks before you go, because I know you have a TV program today in regards to the same.
My last comment on this issue is, until we find a way to respect women, until we find a way to involve women, until we find a way for women to participate actively in the government. I know we keep on saying, what about the women rep? But the women rep are only 47. That means they don't even form a quarter or an eighth of the vote. And everyone, some of them are patriarchal princesses, so they will not vote your way. And this is not an issue that is close to their hearts. Not everybody is interested. However, I'm going to say this, and I will keep on saying this, and I will keep on pushing for it. SGBV is a national disaster in this country. It's a national disaster. And I am saying that the violence in our houses has spilled over to the streets. Yeah? The violence that we experience in our houses has spilled over to the streets. So it's not that there's anything special that is happening. This happens every day. You just don't see it because the people that it happens to are not really seen. They're invisible, the poor, the underserved, the all those people, and the friends that you see that is happening to them don't speak about it because we do not have spaces for them to feel safe and for them to speak. I'm saying this, and I'm saying this respectfully. Before I came for this meeting, I got into an Uber and I told him, I just need you, I'm paying you this money, I just need to sleep. I needed to sleep because I'm going crazy, Lydia, because the work is overwhelming. Believe it or not, I slept in an Uber for an hour. I paid $1,000 to sleep. Just no calls, no nothing. I think you called me at that time.
Yeah.
So I woke up I had put my phone at 7:15 so that I could attend to this meeting. Because it's so much. I am going through a burnout. My therapist told me I have PTSD and I have vicarious trauma, secondary trauma, because of the work and the things I continue to see. And the work is overwhelming. I'm talking here and I'm seeing somebody texting me and telling me, my husband has beaten me and the 9-month-old child has been thrown out. I'm in Eldoret. So I am saying we have a national disaster. The president isn't willing to address it. No one cares. So the Bodaboda that happened is just part of a wider phenomenon that is happening in this country. Capitalism, patriarchy is eating us right now. We don't care. We don't care. The world is burning. If any one of you watched the BBC documentary that I was involved, it will tell you the extent of the damage that is happening in this country. And I remember I went with those photographers, and at some point they were like, Jerry, why are you doing this? And even me, at some point, I'm always asking myself, why am I even doing this? It's too much because it's every day something new, something more overwhelming, something worse, something, just something. And none of us is ready to acknowledge that we have a problem. And this problem comes with, we do not respect women. We do not see their dignity. We do not see their value. We look at them as lower class citizens. We look at them as people who are not deserving of the goodness of or anything. They are our chattels, really, you know, and the value. And until we learn to value them, and until we learn to see them, and until we learn to come to a place where we do not look, you know, every time I hear women empowerment, and then and I ask people, what is this women empowerment you're all talking about? So girls being given pads is empowerment. How is that empowerment? It's not like you're telling these girls, Tokeni, you have extra lessons so that you can defeat the boys. No, all the girls get pads, and it has become a threat that nowadays people are saying the boy child is neglected. It's always an excuse. And in a country that is so patriarchal, in a country that is made for men, and in a country where women have been conditioned that the only value they have is by serving men, that marriage is the greatest achievement for a woman, that without marriage, look at our social conditioning, look at our cultural conditioning, look at how we stigmatize divorce, look at how we stigmatize single mothers, look at how the parent that stays is the one that is abused the most. Look at it, and then you will see what kind of a country we have. And until women here, women out there, Kenyan women, learn to start loving themselves enough to know that they are good enough, and to know that they can step up, this is going to be a problem. We cannot be saying that we want men to help us. Men are not going to help us. They don't care. They care about us. Either way, there's always another woman wanting to get married. There's always another woman who's willing to serve. There's always women have to stand up for themselves. Fight for political positions. Not me. Not me. I'm already fighting. But I'm saying women have to get a stand and a voice. And we have to unite and start speaking in one voice. And start putting our demands and pressing on. Every time you speak and you say things about women, you're called a toxic, you're labeled immediately a toxic feminist like this. Yeah? So until us women are going to look at ourselves and say, look, this is it, I'm done. We have to unite and join together. Empower your sister in the slum. Empower your sister who is there. Until women know that they have spaces, they can come home, they can go to their sisters, they can go to their, to places where they know they're safe and they're seen and they are valid. That I am not suffering SGBV. Suffering SGBV in Kenya is shameful. We do not talk about it because of the shame. I remember my story. I was so ashamed. I used to go down with my head laid low. I didn't want to talk about it because I was ashamed. Until you stop shaming women for coming out with their stories. Until you stop shaming women for being raped. Until you stop shaming women for being the people that are the burden bearers. And until you start looking at the labor that women provide as unpaid labor, and we start valuing the women that are here, that is the only time we will end this menace. Otherwise, for now, we have a pandemic, and the pandemic is not corona, the pandemic is GBV. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. It's been a good time. And then it came here.
Thank you very much, Jerry. And we wish you all the best in your TV interview today. And thank you so much for the good work you're doing. Even if anybody doesn't appreciate it, we do appreciate it. So thank you so much, Jerry, and God bless you. Yeah.
I'll take my leave, and I will watch the rest of it.
Okay, thank you. So as Jerry is going, I know Sasha was getting ready, but Sasha, before Sasha speaks, I don't know if Helen wanted to say something, because I just want to give everybody, and in fact, we've lost Sasha. We've lost her because I can't see her here with us. And Helen, did you want to say something? And before Helen comes, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who is watching. Once again, thank you. And keep on sharing. I see my very good friend, Mimi. Mimi is always there supporting everything I do. So I see Belish here already. So thank you so much, Belish, for joining. And thank you, Mariam, as well, for joining us on Zoom. So guys, please keep on sharing, and keep your comments coming as well. And we are talking about what happened yesterday in Kenya with the lady with the Bodaboda, what the Bodaboda guys did. But that is just one thing. We know that there's a billion things that happen to women that nobody talks about. So we saw this Bodaboda thing, like Sasha was saying, we like acting. And acting starts from the head, which is the president. And then everybody follows acting down. So Sasha, please. Helen, let Helen say something first, and then Sasha can come.
My question is this. Okay, I listened to the news and they say they arrested all the Bodaboda, almost 200. What are they gonna do about it? after they arrest them. So for me, it's very difficult, and I don't know even what to say, Lydia. It's very, very, I watched the video, was very, very, very painful. If you see what they did to that lady, it's very painful. So I think about now we have a children here in Europe, and we are going back home. Or what will happen? It's
Lydia, can I respond to that?
Yeah, please.
I wanted Sasha to speak, because Sasha has been waiting for so long, but I wanted Sasha to respond to that and just say, because I know Sasha is next to home, because Sasha is in Tanzania and in Zanzibar, sorry. Yeah, Tanzania and Zanzibar. So Sasha, if you can just respond to that, please.
I see we have all the solutions that we need, but as the Black community, because this is not about only Kenya, as the Black community, okay, women are marginalized everywhere, but it is worse for Black women, and that's a fact. So we have everything that we need to change it, but we are not ready for that discussion. That is why you see a house girl will be raped by someone's husband. Instead of the woman supporting her and taking her to hospital, she will start being abused. She's gonna be told it's the way she dresses. She was the one who was seducing the man. She's sometimes forced into abortions. That is why you're seeing we've become a people who don't even have shame. You see clergymen being taken to court that they impregnated women, instead of them being seen as they call them men of God, men of God, yeah. Instead of the men of God,
touch not, they say touch not my anointed.
Exactly. And you know, people, I like what Sheila said. Sheila said it's the programming, it's the conditioning. This was not us. Unless we educate ourselves who we really are, we are going to continue seeing these things happening. We are going to suffer all these things that we are suffering. When a woman is raped, most of the time she'll be told it's because of the way she was dressed. What about that woman who is covered in a hijab? What about that young boy who was sodomized? Did he seduce that man? But the system supports men in so many ways. I don't know whether I don't know whether it is in Pakistan that now they have a medical castration. These are the things that we are supposed to be fighting for in our parliament, because when we do such things, they are going to behave. They are going to stop being animals, because they have become animals. Last night I didn't sleep. I could hear that girl screaming, and I could see my niece in a dream. And, you know, I'm still traumatized as a Kenyan woman, you know? So we need to start educating ourselves about us, because even the education that we received, that's why I tell people, I can't brag with PhDs and degree certificates and diplomas. That was colonial education. That was miseducation. You are miseducated. Yes. You know, we were miseducated, and until we know who we really are. Our grandfathers, when they were going for war during colonization, they would not do anything unless the women have told them what to go and do. I think, Sheila, there's a time we had that kind of a discussion. They are the ones who would plan for them. They are the ones who tell them which way to go, what to do. They would pack things for them. Back then they had respect for women, but then money came in and we were taught about money. And that is why those bodabodas can do whatever they want, because they know at the end of the day, I will do this to her. I will bribe the police. And then the community has been taught to look down upon women. Look at all those men. I'm seeing men yapping on Twitter and everywhere else on social media. Oh, we need to. How many men were there? How many men were there? Instead of even trying to rescue her, they started to record. Shame on you. They started to record. And do you know why they strip women? They don't strip women because they want to discipline women because a woman did something. They strip them because they want to see. They are animalistic. And if they're not tamed by the system, this will continue to go on and on. But then the system cannot tame them. That's why I said President Uhuru is pretending. He's just pretending, giving such a statement, because those are the voters. Sheila mentioned poverty is the main problem. Poverty is a business in Africa. I don't know when people will understand this. SOS, is it called SOS? SOS was founded in 1901. So if it was founded in 1901 and we still have poverty in Africa, what kind of poverty is it fighting? Poverty is a business for the elite. Those Bodaboda guys, all these Bodabodas we are seeing now in Africa, somebody got a tender to bring them from China. That's why they are all over. And whom do they benefit? Those poor men, those who are being given wheelbarrows, people who don't even have value for themselves. Someone gives you a wheelbarrow and you're all over the place singing like a mad person. You are a slave. Until they realize that they are slaves, we will never get out of this until we educate ourselves. And that is why I take it as my own initiative to make sure that I educate as many girls, as many women as I can in the spa industry, that I am part of Upendo Women's Foundation. We make sure that we give out pads. We were doing reusable, washable pads. When we went to Turkana, the girls asked us, where are we gonna get the water to wash them? You think you're taking a solution only to find out that there's a bigger problem, because poverty is a business for our leaders. So now we have come up with a bigger plan in Upendo Women's Foundation. We want to eradicate period poverty by 2030. So we are coming up with cups, because one cup can serve one girl for 10 years. We want our girls in school, because Mandela said education is the only equalizer. And we need to educate women to take back their power. We need to educate women that you're not less of a woman if you don't have children. You're not less of a woman if you're not married. You're actually very powerful. You hold the power to your womb. You make decisions for your womb. Don't just give birth because the society says that you give birth. Yet when you borrow them money to raise that child, they're the ones who are calling you names. Single mothers are called prostitutes every day, every single day. Did they impregnate themselves? No. Patriarchy has power over them. And that's why I said, I will never give birth until I want to give birth, me, Sasha. I will never get married until Sasha wants to get married. Not because society says, society is not going to live my life. They're not going to be there when I'm struggling with those expenses. Children are very expensive. We need to start educating girls these things. Children are very, very expensive. And once you get a child, that is your burden until the day you die. That is your burden. If we don't educate girls about these things, we are never going to be able to overcome these things, because the only thing is education. It is education. Even those men, they're not educated. If they were educated, they would not be carrying 40 million Kenyans carrying one person like this. They don't even know their power. They don't even know their value. A man lining up from 3 a.m. to 4 p.m. standing for $5, 500 bob, and you can even actually kill your neighbor. They're miseducated. They're ignorant. They're foolish. They're stupid. These are the things they're not being told. They are not being told these things. And women are not being taught that you don't have to listen to society. Look at all the women who chase education. Look at them. They are leading in the world out there. But these ones, every day, the late Winnie Mandela, I like what she said. I'm going to read it for you guys. She said, therefore, women accept patriarchy unquestioningly and even protect it, working out the resultant frustrations, not against men, but primarily against themselves, in their competition for men as sons, lovers, and husbands. Traditionally, the violated wife bides her time and offloads her built-in aggression on her daughter-in-law. So men dominate women through their own agency, through the agency of women themselves. So it's a conditioning, it's a programming. And I thank God for my grandmother. My grandmother educated me. My grandmother told me, when I see you traveling, when I see you doing bungee jumps, when I see you did a skydive, you are living the dream that I wanted. But they stopped my dreams because they forced me to get married, because my family was poor and your grandfather was rich, and they used to be sold off. These are the things that we need to stop those traditions where we sell girls. That's why these men don't value them. Nimekulipia mahari, utaniambia nini? These are uncouth traditions. They shouldn't even be happening now in 2022. So it is the education from the highest office to the lowest. Because even those the people in our parliament, they are slaves. They have their masters in European nations. Men, when you see them walking like soldiers, going to borrow money, and they are not even ashamed. But when a woman is mentioned in the same sentence with money, she's called a prostitute. It's miseducation unless we educate ourselves, unless they educate themselves. Because whatever is what Sheila said, patriarchy, it's not even serving them. If it was serving them, those Bodaboda guys would not be there attacking a woman. They will be very busy somewhere working, making their own money. But they are jobless. They are waiting for when the campaigns will begin. Uhuru is giving them 500. Raila is giving them 500. Ruto is giving them 500. I like my parents because when I was a child, I never used to understand. But I remember during those campaigns, my mom and dad will say, if I hear that you are outside. So I used to feel bad because tomorrow when you go to school, your friends are like, oh, I came back home with the 1500. Like, I'm like, how did you get that money? And they start to explain how they got the money and everything. And now I just think, oh my God, our people are so cheap. 1500 and you will sell your vote. And then how do they condition them? Like if Lydia, you have 8 children. So they go, they each get 500 bob, mafuta ya kupika, unga ya ugali, you know those things they give them, Wamama kitenge. You know you're so cheap. You are so cheap, Kenyans. You are so cheap. That is why our nation has become, it's rotten. We are getting to a place where you're not even proudly Kenyan. We are getting to a place where you're no longer even proudly Kenyan. People are cheap. They will do anything for money. And why you think people are like, that's why I'm saying the president should stop pretending. The people should stop pretending. It's only that there was a camera. These things are happening every day to women. When politicians are murdered, what happens? An innocent woman is killed and placed next to their body. So that that person can be shamed through a woman, so that we can forget about these things. Anything when it's written about a woman, oh, they will be all over the place. They will not even focus that they are slaves. They are chainless slaves, they're paying hefty taxes because they are slaves. They used to be European slaves. Now they are new slaves to China. And China is not joking. You think China is building these roads for you? China is coming after you. You are slaves.
Thank you. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you so much. Sasha speaks with so much passion there. So, okay, before I go to my next guest, I just want to say thank you so much again for everybody who is watching. And please keep on sharing. Please keep on sharing. Please keep on sharing. Please keep on sharing. Someone say those hooligans shouldn't be taken to court. They should be whipped on sight so much until they bleed out. Our GSU aligned idol in barracks. They should deploy to deal with them. When you take them to court, they will be given bonds and be told to report next month until the case are forgotten. Someone say, thank you so much, Lydia and your guest, for sharing this. Jerry, it's your calling. If you can save just one person, your effort is worth it. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, once again for watching. Please keep sharing. Fatma, share. Thank you so much. Sheila, share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Somebody say, let me mention it. Okay, yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for sharing and keep sharing and keep sharing. Okay, so we're running out of time. I'll let Walter speak.
Can I add something?
Okay, yes, darling.
Yes, today is International Women's Day. Fine, yes. I understand, but we are only talking about what happened to this lady. But there are so many schoolgirl, house girl, lipped, a lot of them. Last year, a lot of them, they are pregnant, but hakuna mtu anaongea about them. Nobody talk about them. Kwa sababu this girl, maybe they live in a village, the uncle left them, or the man of God, that's what we're gonna use that word. Yeah. But nobody talk about it, Yeah. But it's just something, because it's happened, somebody was there with the camera, now this is go viral. But we have also to think about what is happening across the doors, It's very, very important. I see last year so many girls pregnant. Also some, because me, I have organization. They are also the girls, she get pregnant. You ask who is the owner of the pregnancy, she say, I don't know. But she doesn't want to tell you she was raped. Yeah, so we have also to think about that. That's the children, the one they are raped, not only what we see through social media. No, but we have to know what we can do about it. Yeah, I know it's very sad what happened, but also we have to know what is happening. You know, also the house girl, like she said, the house girl get raped. Nobody talk about it. They say they don't dress good. They dress half naked.
Yeah.
Because it is, I'll go to the same point. They are silenced. They are silenced because we are programmed to be hypocrites. You know, it's my father who has done it. It's my brother. So we are going to shut her, sometimes even pay her out, you know. It is the way it is. It's a clergyman. You saw what happened with Cheryl Zondi in South Africa when she came out that Pastor Omotoso had been raping her, to an extent of calling illegal doctors to come and perform abortions on her. And when she came out, what happened? The congregants wanted to kill her. So the state had to give her police every day when she was going to court.
Yeah.
And they would have done anything to wipe her out. Man of God. All these things I'm saying. And this is not us. This is what you are taught by colonizers, but you're not ready for that topic. You are not ready because it starts with religion. Mention anything to do with religion and they will stab you. So they are not ready. They are not ready to come out of it. You know, I always say the mental torture our ancestors agree with me is worse than the physical condition they got, because this is something that has been passed on from generation to generation. My grandmother, she started waking up. She at some point, my grandmother would say that education has corrupted me. I'm like, no, education has not corrupted me. I'm just like, Shosho, since I was a child, you said that Mofea said we give this amount of money. Just show me one project. I just turned 41 years. Just show me one project from that money you've been giving every Sunday. She doesn't have an answer for me. It's the programming. It's so deeply rooted that to take it out of our minds, it's a mental battle. It's a mental battle, and people are not ready for it. You see young girls, they are being raped by their uncles. What are they? Keep quiet. You know, you can't let him. Oh, the family name, la la la. Okay, it's that prominent person. Oh, he's prominent, blah blah blah. It's the clergyman. I just watched the foundation of, and you need to. Yes, I just watched the foundation, and you need to go and watch it. It was on 60 Minutes, and then there is this other one, the Fifth Estate. Both are from Australia. Look at the foundation of the Catholic Church. Look at it, the roots of that white Jesus that you put in your walls. Look at it.
Yeah.
You see how those women are narrating how they were raped over and over, how they were forced into abortion. Then they come here and pretend that they are holy men of God. There is nothing like that. And until we stop pretending and get out of that kind of hypocrisy, nothing is going to change. Not in Kenya, in this world.
I think we're 99% of humans are hypocrites walking. And like so one day, Sasha, I remember one day we had a show here, and you said it has African as black people, with everything we went through from slavery to the conditioning of our mindset. We need a little dose, just a little dose to come out of it. I'll never forget that little dose. So yes. Yeah, I guess that's what we should be getting.
Yes, Marcus Garvey actually put it better. And that's why I say you need to know who you are. And that's why I read a lot. He said, are people conditioned for too long? You have to educate them in little doses. I think, Lydia, we've been in some groups together. We sometimes do some things on social media. I started doing the awakening, and I would post things and people would attack me, you know, and I would think, wow, Malcolm X said this. So you have to give them little by little education. Otherwise, that is, you will see them in August in Kenya. You are going to see them. We have seen them before. We have seen them every 5 years. Yeah. So you can only give them education pole.
Yeah, those little doses. Thank you so much, Sasha. So I'll go to Walter, and then we'll go back to just last remarks. And because we're running out of time, so when we come to last remarks, just keep it really, really short, sweet, and to the point.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, everyone who's watching us. I would say what Sheila said, Sasha, Helen, Jerry, and yourself, Lydia, and Juliet. We have all been conditioned towards religion to make the man be more what authoritative or given that position, which is, well, nobody wants to talk about religion, but religion for us, or when we're conditioned, when you go, you're told, oh, the wife has to be submissive. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is it educated? People may take it the wrong way or the right way, but what does it mean? Does it mean that you bow down and you take everything that you're given? If you look at the statistics just briefly, 1 in 4 children at the age of 15 to 24 have been sexually harassed. Right now, women are going through many forms of harassment and aggression. There's physical, sexual, there's verbal, and there's one thing, cyber harassment on women is very rife, and people don't talk about that. Yeah, people tell you how you look and everything else. Those are microaggressions. People are killing themselves because of that. A lot of women, just because of how you are, how you look, and it's the men telling you how you look. How do they look themselves? But they are there to judge you how you look as a person. That is wrong. If you go into things like trafficking, out of 10 victims, 5 are adult women and 2 are children in trafficking. All these abuses towards women are there. Now, if you come back to what has brought this to light, it has always been there, but this lady who was harassed yesterday, laws are there. I'm sure there are traffic laws in Kenya and they're just violated, they're not followed. Yes, there's a crackdown of 200 people today. What does that mean? 200 people are not going to get food. What does that, is a Pandora's box being opened? And a vicious cycle just going on around the circle. Yes, the implementation of laws need to happen. Yes, nobody can tell me that we cannot crack down on Bodaboda people or Bodaboda riders. They're just normal people like you and me, and they're doing their job every day. It is the government to do it. Kenya has a population of over 50 million people. But tell me today, you can go to Kenya and drop a piece of plastic. Tell me you can have plastic with you. Tell me you can walk around with plastic. You cannot. It has been enforced. So you cannot tell me that a group of people who are border riders, just like people driving, cannot be regulated. Yeah. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Get out there and do the right thing. They can't be regulated. They can't follow rule of law. They were told they had to put high vis on. They did that. They had to have helmets. They followed that. So let's get on with it and just stop riding this bus. As Sasha said, we're just fooling ourselves. We are, as I say, we have amnesia. One thing happens, we forget the other one and come back again. I'll stop there, Lydia.
Thank you so much. And just like you said, yes, there are things that can be implemented. It's just the things that benefit us. That's the things that we cannot. The president just announced the other day that men are allowed to marry 2 women. Almost every man right now has 2 women. They've just married. Why was that implemented? Immediately they did that. It wasn't just in the books. It happened. Physically, it happened practically because that was favoring the men. If they said a woman should marry 2 men, why is that? Why are only men allowed to marry 2 women? And a woman is not even allowed to marry another man. A woman only must have 1 man. If you even seen talking to another man, you're a prostitute. You're this. They just give you titles. And a woman, a woman.
So but for them, but for them, the more they have, they are heroes,
Yeah, they are heroes. The more they have, they're heroes. And they have children right, left, center, and they cannot even look after them. But yet they are heroes. But yet they're allowed to marry 2 women.
That's why I wanted to tell you, Lydia. You're saying the president accepted that they have, I don't know how many women, 2 wives. But these are our fathers when they die. If I can speak broken English, oh my God, that's when oh,
the
Jesus,
children.
I have an Indian brother. Yeah, they start.
Oh God, I know. Okay, so we are just winding up. So I'm coming back to your last remarks, and I'll start with Sheila. Sheila, please, your last remarks.
Before I say the last remarks, I'll say no woman is forced to marry a man. If you decide to be the second woman or the third woman because the law was forced to allow it, let us go there. And no woman is forced not to have 2 men or 3 men. You just don't make it legal, but yeah. Okay. Okay. So I would say it's been a good conversation. It's a conversation that, as I said in the beginning, it has been a long time coming. And we need to continue having these conversations, not only on social media, on platforms like this, but also in our private spaces, with ourselves, with our children, with our friends. These conversations, they do help. So we need to have these conversations. I want to thank Kenyans that have come out to condemn this. Certainly there has been a change. Long time ago, this thing would happen, Kenyans would be there, there'll be no one condemning it. But I must say, I have seen a lot of Kenyans that have come to condemn it. They may not have done much other than condemning, but I take that as a positive step forward, that there has been that outcry. So I give thanks for that. And as I say, this is a problem for all of us. This is not a problem for women. Yeah. This is not a problem for women in the media. This is not a problem for women that can speak. This is a problem for everyone, men, women, children alike. And the more that we all speak and condemn this, the more change takes place. So people keep talking. For the viewers who've been here listening, thank you very much. For my fellow panelists, thank you very much. These conversations are not in vain. These are the conversations that change the narrative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheila. So we'll go to Juliet, please, your last remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lydia. But just before my last remarks, I want to remind people in 2005, when the BBC, I think it was in one of the news channels around 28th of April 2005, and there was this big headlines that read, "Castrate Rapist, says Kenyan MP." And if any of you can remember, there was a motion that had opened up the way for a new sexual offense bill to be introduced. And if people can remember, Njoki Ndongo, who had moved the motion, said 2 women were raped every hour and said that the police were too lax in prosecuting rapists. Kenyans is becoming a nation of rapists where rapists go scot-free, she said. Some MPs said the motion would prevent Kenya becoming a haven for sex tourism. The BBC Grey Forbea in the capital Nairobi says that rape is on the increase in Kenya in that week. And people were shocked to hear about a man who had made his handicapped daughter pregnant. And of course, Miss Ndongo, a women's rights lawyer, said the rape was being massively underreported in Kenya. She said police records showed 2,308 rape cases in that year. And she also said many rape cases were not reported because the offender was a relative or because of a reluctancy to relieve the experience, in court. Mrs. Ndongo also called for anti-AIDS drugs to be given to rape victims, which was a solution. And also Mrs. Ndongo advocated chemical castration for those convicted of a second sexual offense. Others called for physical castration or even stoning to death. Health Minister Charity Ngilu quoted the Bible to back the call. The Bible says that if any part of the body causes you to sin, it should be removed, she had said. And the Daily Nation in Kenya had reported that the MPs had agreed to speak for 5 minutes each instead of the usual 10, so that more people would get the chance to contribute to the passion debate. That is in 2005. I thought I should remind people. I love doing that, to remind people where we come from. You know, I keep those memories. So I just feel that it's not a laughing matter, but let me tell you, I remember thinking when that discussion was happening, and I remember the cases on the streets, and I remember what you've just said at around that same time, the law for women, for polygamous women was coming in. And I remember so many signatures of women who were saying that we did not want women to actually go into polygamous marriages. And sadly, the Constitution passed itself. That is Kenya for you. But anyway, I'm going to put a closing remark for myself here today. But I just thought that prompted somebody who had just spoken about Pakistan. So it reminded me about that case. And I wonder what happened to that case. But it speaks for itself. So it's not that Kenya was not trying. Kenya was saying a no to rapists. And let me say that rapist for me is something that is also very personal, because I love to safeguard children. And anytime I think of rapists, I think of a young girl being raped, her whole life being taken away because of the memories. You have to remember that these cases are underreported. As such as said, somebody is seen as somebody who is, in fact, I wanted to talk about confidentiality. Sometimes women don't even have confidence to talk to another women because they're afraid of what is going to happen next. In some cases, even some men don't want to marry a raped woman. And that is really something that is sad. Here in UK, I have worked with women who have faced rape, and I can tell you there is groups and it's sad stories that are told every day. And in Africa, let me put it that way, especially when the rape is within the family, those cases are also underreported, and that is the saddest bit. Let's finish off by saying it's everybody's responsibility to safeguard women, to safeguard children, because when these things happen, it hurts, and it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime torture. I remember talking in one of the programs in Manchester about sometimes you see women having got children, and the first thing is somebody is saying, oh, who are not toto? And in fact, the community and women, they underestimate women who haven't got children. They don't even know their case stories. Some of them is fibroids. Some of them could have been raped. Some of them could have been anything. So I leave it there for myself, but I want to leave it that safeguarding children and women is in the responsibility of every single person. And also, let's safeguard men as well, because we've got men who are also battered back home. And we know of cases here as well, where we've seen cases of women being aggressive and sort of like, almost men facing death. So safeguarding is everybody's responsibility. So I leave it there, Lydia. And thank you so much for this program, because we need education. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Juliet. That's Juliet Makapila, based in the UK. Sheila as well was based in the UK. So I'll go to Helen, who is based in Belgium. Keep on forgetting this. I always want to say Netherlands, but she's based in Belgium. So Helen, just your last remarks, please.
Me, I just want to say, if you have a sister, a friend, or organization, just encourage the women or the girls. You encourage them just to be careful, dressing good, and yeah, it's a very difficult situation to talk about, but I can just say, yeah, we just encourage them. Nothing more I can say about it. And thank you to be the part of this meeting. And it was nice meeting you all.
Yes, thank you so much, Helen. Thank you for coming. That was a short notice, because I remember I just called you coming back from work and you accepted. Thank you. In fact, every single person in this panel, it was the last minute, because it was just today. I was like, I'm doing this. Call Sheila. Sheila came back from work. She was like, Lydia, please, I'm still taking off my clothes. Sasha didn't even remember, because it was today. And Juliet, I called her. Juliet was like, Juliet, yeah, I want us to do this program. Walter, I didn't even call him. I sent him a message and I said, make sure you bring yourself there. So you guys, you're just champions. I don't know what to say. You are champions. So thank you so much. So thank you, Helen, for that remarks. So I'll come back to the UK with Walter. Your last remarks, Walter. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. No. Thank you to Juliet. Thank you to Sheila, Sasha, Helen, and to Lydia for hosting us here today. Bear with me. Okay. Now, it was a short notice to come in and everything else, but it was a worthy cause. Being a man on this panel with ladies, right? I would like for us to stop, as men, to stop the biasness of women towards women, because we always look at women on the other side. Let's stop that. Let us be equal, like Jerry said, women should not be seen as this and that. No, let us be equal in what we do, how we do it. How yesterday when I saw the video on the lady, I was surprised. All the men were there, but not even one single man can stand up and stop the people to leave alone. If 5 men went and just covered, blocked them and say, let's talk about this, that would have been something. Yeah. If we're talking of safeguarding, let's start there from safeguarding for each other, where we are and how we are living. Not there. Nowadays, you can die or be killed and people will record it. Nobody will stand back like our forefathers would and protect you. Yeah, let's change ourselves. Let's change our narratives. Let's change our mindsets. Let's go out there and change, and let's support each other. Let's support the women. It is easier said than done. In Kenya, we're going to election period, right? Let's not just bring these narratives of election. Politicians, if you're hearing this, and people going out there to vote, go and vote the candidate who's going to put the right things on the table. Not another 5 years of amnesia coming through. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you so much, Walter. And talking about voting, I know yesterday somebody called me. I was literally being attacked. Why couldn't you come to Ruto? Ruto was in town. And I said, look, first of all, it was on a Sunday. I was celebrating my birthday. So who is more important, myself or Ruto? Myself. So I was celebrating my birthday and I cannot leave my birthday for nobody. I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. So that was me celebrating my birthday yesterday on a Sunday, because I celebrated for 4 days because I was 50. It's not easy to be 50. I don't know if Ruto is 50 or not, but it's not easy to be 50. So my dear, I gave myself 4 days and I was celebrating. That's one. Two, I said, I'm not going to know Ruto. I'm not going to know Raila. I'm not going to know Uhuru. If these three people can come and give us a candidate who is a youth and start mentoring that candidate and say, we want this candidate to be the president. Let's start mentoring this person. Yes, I will go. But the fact that that's these selfish people who just want to come and eat and grab and kill and destroy and corruption, no. I'm not going. So I hope that person who was attacking me yesterday, you had this. It was my birthday. And I'm number one. Nobody comes first before me. So thank you so much, everybody watching. I know I'm coming to Sasha for our last remarks. Thank you so much. But I just want to say the people somebody said it is just a bad culture of violence against women. Just like being a barren by brothers, uncles seems normal I don't understand what the person was trying to say here, but be a Warren by brothers. Okay, I don't understand the whole thing, but the person said initially that bad culture of violence against women, which is true. And somebody said, yeah, Juliet, you're right. It's our responsibility to safeguard family and relatives at the highest number in rape cases. It's rarely a stranger. It's families that are high in rape cases. It's rarely a stranger, which is true. Thanks for sharing. We other me in Messenger. You are a trouble blaster. Well, Lydia, first come, you're well done for looking after. Yeah, well done for looking after you, number one. And the other thing I just want to say before Sasha comes for last remark. I always say this, and my children know that. I always say I'm a single woman by choice. And I love being single. And I don't want any man coming to my inbox or any woman, stupid woman out there coming to my inbox and asking me, why don't you have a man? I did not ask you to give me a man. I'll get a man when I'm ready. Just like Sasha, when she's ready, she'll get a man. When she's ready, she'll get children. I'm blessed that I have 3 children, fine. But please, don't come and start asking me why am I single. It's not your responsibility. That's between me and my God why I'm single. And I love being single, and I'm a single mother by choice. So women who are single out there, I know you've been marginalized, you've been, they've normalized to abuse you and call you names and say that children who are out there, children who are in prisons, children who are doing bad, are children from a product of single mothers. Somebody actually said that on a forum one day. I was so angry. I think I sat down and I wrote a book. I wrote a book to this person. They said, all those children who are out there, there was a video that was going around for a child who stabbed somebody in the UK, and somebody commented on that video and said, this is a product of a single mother. And I was thinking, first of all, why is he a single mother? Why can't he be a product of a single father? So it's a mother. So straight away, it's mothers to be blamed. There's a divorce in the family, it's a mother. Because it's women who, why is it woman, 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 woman? So please, personally, don't talk to me about me being single, because to be honest, if you're married and you bring your husband and your children, my children are 100% better than your children, and they're from a single mother. So don't come to me and tell me about me being a single mother. So single mothers, don't sit there and feel guilty because you're single mothers and say that I'm staying because of my children. And you've been, God almighty. I interviewed a woman who actually literally like told me she found a husband almost molesting their daughter. And she, because of the title that I'm married, that's a story for another day. And
Lydia.
Also women who don't have children. Don't let anybody let you feel that, oh, I'm barren, I don't have children. I was telling my children yesterday, thank God that I was not born in that culture, because if you come and tell my children that it's you who cannot have children, you are barren, you regret why you are married in this family. I told them yesterday, my daughter, Mommy, this is not Nollywood movies, you know. You cannot behave like that. I said, I will behave worse than this, because nobody will come and make my children, because I've got children already, but nobody knows tomorrow. I don't know about my children's life because they don't have children yet. And yes, we pray, and that's our heart's desire to have children, but it's not a need. A need is something you cannot do without. So we have to separate these things. It's not a need. And I know that's the program for another day. Today we are talking about what happened yesterday, but it brings so many things because of what we're talking about. So anyway, I know Juliet wanted to say something, but I wanted Sasha to come.
I just wanted to say, break the bias. We have to do this here today in your program before we leave. And I just felt that is something that we could join hands. And if we could all do that, so that it's break the bias and put this program in that hashtag so people could listen. I don't know if we could do it, everybody.
Okay, Sasha, let Sasha give us the last remarks first, and then we'll do that. Okay, Sasha, please.
You're muted, Sasha.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Poleni. Yeah, so like I said, what we need is education, and we need to educate as many girls and women as we can. Some of the education I've received it as a mature woman, you know. So it's a long walk to mental freedom for all of us, whether it's about politics, religion, society, things like this which are happening to us. It's just about educating ourselves each and every day and trying to pass that information out there. And then as women, we need to ask ourselves every day, who am I when I'm not a mother? Who am I when I'm not a daughter? Who am I when I'm not a sister? Who am I when I'm not a wife? Who am I when I'm not a niece? Who am I when I'm not an auntie? We need to ask ourselves these questions, you know, because we have been conditioned to think that we for me at my age, I get people who tell me, oh, you're traveling the world and fighting for your career. As a woman, you're nothing if you're not married. You're nothing if you don't have children. The person who's telling you that, my dear, is younger than me and looks older than my grandmother. So I choose always. We need to teach women to choose themselves. We need to teach women, you're beautiful. Today is your day. You're beautiful. You are powerful. You don't need another title to be who you are. The only title you need is your achievement as a woman. If I died today, what's going to be a mother? There are so many mothers out there in the world. If it's being somebody's wife, there's a lot of wives out there. I usually disagree a lot with Andrew Kibe, because he's always out there dissing women. But the other day, he was talking about Mulamwa's girlfriend, and he was showing the video where she was being interviewed, and she's being asked whether he's paying child support and everything. And you know, that man is very rude. And he said that, look at her. Apart from Mulamwa's girlfriend, what is she? And you know, I wanted to give him a backlash, but he was right. me, I didn't know her apart from she was Mulamwa's girlfriend, you know. So we need to do better also as women, and we need to also start pointing the finger at ourselves. We point the finger at ourselves. We see where are we going wrong. Like we need to educate young girls, although they don't listen at a certain. But I thank God for me. I think when I was a little bit younger, all I used to like was to just party. I never used to like have boys in my head that much. I think also because of the way I was raised, the things I was being told, if you have a boy and everything and having a child, we need to educate them about these things, you know. We need to tell them it is your body. It is your body. I don't have to use contraceptives because I can only get pregnant once. So why are women the ones supposed to use contraceptives? You understand? All these things, we need to educate ourselves about these things. There is a time I said, why are condoms free, and which sex is a choice, and sanitary pads are not free, and having periods is not a choice. Okay, I was attacked because there is HIV and all that, but I think the boy child is favored in so many ways. That's why we need, in all systems in the world, we need to vote more women, because you find I see sometimes in the Middle East, in parliament, they are discussing about women motions. There is not even one woman in parliament. So how are you going to talk about me when you don't know about me? Also, we must teach these boys. Lydia, you're the one who see it with what you mentioned. I used to sit with my brother, after breakfast, I have to clean after my brother. So who is raising these men that we are fighting against? It is also us women who are raising them. So that's why I said everything about this situation is from the grassroots. Because you will find, even when I was young as a little kid, we go to my grandmother's place. I'm with my cousins, both male and female, and we are having parties and whatever. And then you will see they will just be told the men to leave, and then for us, you're a woman. The women also, they are conditioned to look down upon themselves. You're a woman. Who will marry you if you don't know how to clean dishes? Stop that conditioning. And then as you stop that conditioning, if for me, a man can walk here with the underwear and I will not feel anything. It is the same thing. Lillian said here that we need to tell girls to dress. No, tame their thoughts. If a man can walk here with his underwear and I'm not gonna be aroused, it can also happen to the boys. If you tell us we were raped because of the way we are dressed, what about that girl who is wearing hijab? They even have gloves. They usually, I live in a Muslim country. They cover themselves with they only have the ninja. You only think the ninja. They have gloves, they have socks. What are you going to tell that one? If you're telling me that for me, I was wearing a hot pant, that is why I was raped. What are you going to tell that 3-year-old child who was sodomized with a boy? You need to teach your sons how to tame their thoughts. We are going to start from there. And thank you very much, everyone. I always enjoy when I'm with you guys.
Lydia, let me just say one thing. Just one thing is burning in me.
Okay, make sure it's one, Sheila, because I know you're like this pastors.
I am a historian. I am a historian, and this is a message I talk about dressing. Right now, we dress not to cover our modesty. We dress because we are ashamed of our bodies. Prior, if we go way back, there was no shame. And if you look at the communities that still live as closer to nature, they just have that loincloth. They have no single rape or sex assault case. Yes. They have no single STDs or STIs or those sexually transmitted diseases. Men do not rape because of the women dressing. Men rape because it's a power and control issue. So let us not for 1 minute tell women to dress up so that they avoid rape. That is siding with the rapist. It is very damaging notion, and anyone that stands and says that thing needs an education as fast as.
Yes.
Hey, thank you.
possible.
In fact, somebody saying that is a rapist themselves, because you've actually raped that person again for making them feel that it was their fault to be raped. And like Sasha rightfully said, what about the woman who's wearing hijab? What about the little boy who was sodomized? What about the little girl, the 2-year-old girl who was raped? How was she dressed? How is it their fault? And I'm telling you, and this is the topic for another day, Sasha, because don't get me started. Please, I beg you. Just let's leave it to that. You know me, don't get me started. So somebody said, there is no excuse for rape. And someone said, who am I? That's the most important question as a woman we can ask ourselves. I agree with Sasha. Wonderful and very educational discussion. And as I wind up, first of all, I want to say thank you. There's one thing that somebody have written here, an amazing point for a woman, and it's also a man. And let me tell you something. I hate this thing that we say, it's a man. Oh my God. It doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, because it's a human thing. It's like somebody say, oh, but that white person is no racist. He's a nice person. He's not, and that's the norm. That's how it should be. So you shouldn't be praised for doing something good. You should be doing something good anyway, regardless. Okay, but this poem has touched me, so I just want to read it. I thank you so much, and thank you so much everybody who joined in. Please, if you can still share, keep on sharing and sharing and sharing. Thank you so much. Today we had almost 113 shares, but you can still share because we still have people watching, so you can still share and share and share. So this poem is from Ben Abange. Amazing you are. He is talking to a woman. Amazing you are. Spectacular is your nature. Incredible describes your awesomeness. Strong is your personality. You rock. You are a rock. From cradle to grave, you rock the man. You made of clay. You're made of a strong bone. You stand firm. Your eyes speak peace and war. You're gentle, fierce, and soft. Your steps bring life, shows joy, and drives peace. You're caring, daring, and enduring. You've been misjudged, mistreated, and subjected to so much pain. Even when you bring a new soul to earth, you still do so with so much pain. Because you are the source, indeed the source of life, today you are celebrated. Forever you'll be celebrated. Happy International Women's Day. You are incredibly loved. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ben, for that. Not because you're a man, but just because you're human. So thank you so much. And yes, somebody said as well, no excuse for rape at all. Our mental conditioning need to be changed. And happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much, my guest. Thank you. Sasha wants to say something again. I don't think we're going to leave here today. Sheila, do you think we leave here today, Sasha? Okay, Sasha, go on.
She's muted.
Oh, Sasha, you're muted. Technology, you don't know about technology anymore, darling.
No, I'm just saying this. I usually, we are going to, you said we're not going to appreciate him because he's a man. We're going to appreciate him because he's a human. I really appreciate such men with that kind of thinking, and we need more of them in our society. You remember when the late Tupac Shakur said, a woman brought you into this world, you have no right to disrespect one. So I really appreciate such men when they speak like that. So asante sana.
Asante Ben, Sasha appreciates you for being a man and for being human. I appreciate you for being a man, for being a human, sorry, not a man, human. Thank you so much. It is a shame some of these guys are fathers with girls at home, and it is just shameful what Kenyan men have portrayed to the world. Rapists, sexual assault, abusers, whoa, my Lord. Can all strong men come and speak against that action, making men look terrible? I know we have good men and nice fathers in Kenya too. They too need to speak out. Someone said, I appreciate you all for this important discussion. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes, we have so many good men out there. It's the same thing, we have good women out there. Nobody's saying everybody's bad or everybody's good. We are humans, and in human, we have good and bad, but sometimes the number outweighs. So when it comes to especially men, the bad outweighs the good. We have so many bad men out there, but we also have good men out there. But I always say that if you have water, like this is my water, okay? I don't want to advertise it because we are not sponsored. Before someone say they are sponsored by Still Water, whatever. So this water is full, and you just take just a drop of sewage water. This water is full and it's clean, but just take a little sewage and put it in there. That's it. All that water is contaminated. Nobody can drink it. It's poison. So that's what's happening. Even though sometimes we have good people or good men or a lot of good men out there, but that small amount that we have contaminates everything and everything is destroyed. So I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, once again. Thank you so much, everybody on Facebook. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so, so much. Until then, we'll see you again. We had to do this program today because of what happened yesterday. And all these, my guests were lastminute.com. They were called today because that thing only happened yesterday. And they came because they have a passion of humanity. And that's why they're here. So thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much, Sasha. Thank you so much, Walter. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much, Juliet. And also Jerry, who was here with us, but she's gone. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Lydia, it happened on Friday. Friday, it was not yesterday.
Oh yeah,
the video came out yesterday, but it happened on Friday.
Can you imagine? And that woman is traumatized until today. Some of us watched it, and tomorrow we'll do whatever we're doing. But do you know how many women are in that position? Even some men, yes, but today is not about men, it's about women. So many women are in that position as that woman right now. And we just pray for her. We pray for her healing. We pray that one day she'll get out and do the same thing she was doing, because now it will be really hard for you to even start driving, but we pray for healing. We pray for healing. That's what we pray for. So thank you so much, everybody, and God bless you all, and good night. Mwah. It can only be God. See ya.
It can only be God.
It can only be God.
Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, Walter.
Thank you all.